Yonkers Voice, and thank you for watching. It's a pleasure, but also thank you to our guest, James Nolan, running for Westchester County Legislator, District 15. James, thank you for taking the time to sit down with us and tell the people why should they vote for you. It's important so people can make a decision.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. Well, we need a voice. We need someone that's going to step into the ring and do what's best for the best interest of the people. I'm a hard worker. I've been an extremely active person in the community for a number of years now, and I think it's time to take it up a notch to try and do what's right, for our constituents.
Well, I think that every time we run for something, it's because we feel that we can do a better job than the person who's there.
Yes.
Because if we are happy with whoever is there, what's the point of us running?
Yeah.
So what would you do better? Or better yet, what would you do different than the person who's there now?
Well, I would still be very active in the community. We have a senior benefit and housing problem that needs to be addressed. We have a number of seniors out in the community that they're not being appreciated and given the right opportunities to, enjoy their golden years. We have a homeless problem that's constantly growing in our community that needs to be addressed as well. We have a number of union issues that are our problem, and our union members want to be heard. I'm a union member myself. There's no recreational educational activities for children anymore. We need to start addressing these issues. These are quality of life issues that need to be addressed. We deserve someone in the community that's going to be out there every single day. Not just when it's election time and they're knocking on the doors. We need someone after election day that's going to continue knocking, continue to be out there. So that's the voice I want to do, and that's the voice I want to provide, and I'm going to continue to do that.
That is very important, James, because very often we see people seeking office before election. We see them at the train station, we see them in the square, we see them everywhere. They have no problem, reaching back to work. But once they're elected, forget about it.
They're going missing.
They're mission in action.
Yeah.
And you would change that. You would still be the same James Nolan.
Same James Nolan.
That can be reached, we can talk to.
Yeah.
Now, James, so the people of Yonkers Voice can understand, what is the job of a Westchester County Legislator? What's the scope of your responsibilities?
Well, I'll be responsible for any county-related issues, such as, again, the homeless problem, many of the infrastructure, like the overpass and the bridges, roadways that need to be repaved. There's also a number, like I said, the senior housing, and there's all of Bronxville and Yonkers, parts of Yonkers, and it's about 36,000 people. And these are people that they want to be heard.
Now, are you familiar with sustainable electricity?
Yes.
How would you address that issue?
Well, we should take a look at the buildings that we have to see if there's a type of structure that's equipped to hold the rooftop, and then to put structures on top to at least bring in renewable energy such as that. Experience,
it's important. And I have to say that you are a young man, not much experience in the political field, a lot of experience in community.
Yes.
But at the same time, there is lots of politicians who are there now that might be doing a good job that had not much experience when they first got elected. I am proud and happy to see young folks like you running for position, in the political arena, because the change comes with new blood, new ideas, new energy. So what is the thing that made you run?
Well, this is my home. It's my passion. I live here. I want to have kids with my girlfriend, and we get married. But you know what?
James, is the other way. You want to get married, then have kids.
Yes. But this is my home. I want to make a difference. You always see people complaining about this and that. I didn't want to be that person that complains about this and that. I want to be the person that, I'm going to take charge. I'm going to be the one that steps in. And I can't promise everything, but I'm going to promise to give my all. And yes, I'm inexperienced in politics, but I'm not inexperienced in a lot of life situations that I've already dealt with in my life. There's a number of experiences that I'm bringing to the table. And, the only way you get experience is if you go for it. That's the only way you can gain it. And then just the knowledge behind it. Yes, as a private citizen, I've actually passed 3 statewide laws that have helped protect people. I've actually been a part of, and brought to the table different laws to protect people in municipalities, 7 municipalities to be exact, to help protect people. So I am an experience in politics, but I'm not an experience in life.
Not that much of an experience.
Yeah.
Because you've been involved, you've been around, you see. For you to have experience, you don't actually have to be
You know?
in the field. That is the experience that you can gain outside. And like I said, I'm all in favor of young folks coming in and bringing this new energy that will change things. Because, up to now, it's the same people running and running
Over
and running.
Over. It's the same script over and over. You know what? It's time to change the script, write a new script. That script that they're reading from and those talking points that they know nothing about, I lived. I've experienced. I've been up against the wall at times. I've worked on job sites. I've been a union member. I've dealt with gun violence. I've worked in the community. So I bring that to the table. I bring a passion. I bring a fire. And that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Talk about gun violence, James. I know that you've been a victim of gun violence. And to be a victim, you don't necessarily have to be shot.
Yeah.
Okay? Family of gun victims are also victims.
Oh, it's a long road.
It's a long road. Sometimes for the person who was shot, which was the case of your brother, and I was there that day.
Yes, I remember.
The pain is gone.
Yeah.
But you, your mother, your father, your brothers will be in pain for the rest of your
Forever.
life. It never ends. And that's something that most of us will never experience, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, and I hope to be that way. But you can associate with both sides.
Yeah, you can.
You feel the pain, you have changed or helped change some laws or implement some laws. Talk to me about those laws.
Well, the first law, Yonkers police had a gun buyback. Well, 1-800 gun tip hotline. And it was very successful. When I came onto the program, I actually doubled the amount of guns taken off the streets of Yonkers. So then we had an idea to take it statewide. And statewide, it took 2 years pushing and fighting, and it actually is the first municipal gun buyback program all statewide. So every city could follow in the footsteps of Yonkers. If you call in a gun that's illegal and it's cleared the background, you'll get $500 cash, no questions asked. The second one I was a part of, I didn't create it, I was a part of the gun ghost law. So that stops anybody the legal right to create an illegal gun off of a 3D printer. So I was a part of that. The other law I was actually a part of, it was actually both in the same day, the gun ghost law and this law. If you're an organ donor, say if I sign up as an organ donor and whenever that day comes and the decision is made, that my family or friends can't back out of the decision and I will no longer be an organ donor. Once you're signed, that's it. You're consenting to it. Nobody can stop it. Because a number of people have died on the waiting table waiting for that, so that helps protect the generation or the people that are waiting for the organs. And actually, I've also helped create 6 other municipalities to establish the drag racing confiscation law. This was created in 2017, and it's been so successful that drag racing has almost stopped here in Yonkers. You have the occasional people that try it. So I took that law and I started going through Westchester County, where White Plains and a number of other municipalities have also passed it or supported a resolution up in Albany.
So right now, the drag racing,
Yes.
it's a local municipality law,
Yes.
not the state.
Not yet. It's up in Albany right now on the agenda.
Let's just take a notch back and talk about the organ donor.
Yes.
I know that when your brother passed, he helped save 6 lives,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
How important is that for you?
Oh, it's very important. I hold it close to me every day. When I have my rough moments, I will always have him. And I think about, wow, he's a hero because of that. He saved 6 people's lives. And I've met 4 of them. Well, 3 of them. One passed away before we could meet him. And they're all very nice people. They're great people. And they're so thankful, especially the guy from Chicago, Jerry. Jerry texts me every other week or 2 weeks, and he just checks in, and the nicest guy. And he says, I can't thank you enough. I said, no, I can't thank you for just being in contact with me, because it's something that I have now. It's still a part of my brother.
So Jerry, if you're watching us, we hope that you are
Thank you,
doing
Jerry.
well. We hope that you are feeling well, and stay in touch with the Nolan family. And perhaps with us, maybe we can interview you someday.
Definitely.
What are your priorities, James? Everyone has priorities in life. Okay, on my personal life, I have priorities.
Yes.
If you are elected, chances are you have priorities. Okay, I am going to address A, B, or C.
Yes.
Give me your priorities.
Well, crime is going on, so we got to do our best to help protect people, but we got to do it in a balance that, you know what, that we're not overstepping someone's rights, but we are helping law enforcement. So it has to be a balance, and that's always my number one goal, is to help protect people. Two is to help the seniors. The seniors are a big thing right now. They're a big following in our community, and they deserve to be treated. You know, they work their entire lives. We should help these seniors. You know, like for an instance, I know a couple, they were in their 70s, they filed for benefits through Westchester County, and he got back combined a month, $16 in food. $16 in food. I'll spend that at dinner tonight. Imagine trying to, we got to do that. We got to look at that and see what's going on here to help these people. You know, the homeless problem is growing. You know, we need to establish some type of program to get the homeless back on their feet and into society, have a home, food in their stomach. We need to help them, you know, help them get back on their feet. We have a mental illness that is taking effect that we need to help, you know, recreate the social services to help people with mental illnesses. We have no recreational activities for kids or education that are being taken away from all the time. This is our future. And especially now with COVID, it's even harder for them to learn. So we need to help.
Let's break down on those things that you just said. Crime is terrible.
Yes.
I don't know if it's because of COVID or it's because of something else, but crime is spiking up in Yonkers and surrounding cities. I have spoken and interviewed police commissioner and spoken to many other police officers who say that the same people are being arrested over and over and over. And I'm not talking about people that got arrested because they stole a loaf of bread,
Yeah.
or eggs or anything. I'm talking about carrying a loaded firearm.
They're violent criminals.
Violent crime, criminals. Because no one that carries a gun, even if they never use it, has good intentions.
Nope.
Correct?
They have some harm they want to do with it.
Exactly. So those people have been arrested, and because of the bail reform, they go out the next day, then they are rearrested in a month or less for the same crime over and over. How would you do, or what would you do to change that? How would you tweak the bail reform, or at least try to tweak the bail reform to help the community?
Well, I would continue to be the biggest advocate that happened up in Albany, because that's where it begins. And we need to start electing new judges and stuff like that actually prosecute to the full extent of the law. We cannot continue to give violent criminals the reoccurring opportunity to come out into society and hurt people more. They're going to keep doing it. Most of the time, they're going to keep doing it. We need to stop that. Obviously, these people, some of them need help, so we need to address that issue. But up top, we need to make sure that we are enforcing the law. And you know what? If it's not working the way it is, we have to change it, and we have to go back at the table and draw up a new plan. Because we cannot continue to let crime rise and let people be victims. So we have to continue to push up top. And we got to actually get, you know, like a committee together of law enforcement, prosecutors, judges, defenders, stuff like that, to start reforming a lot of things. Because, yes, people do make, you know, mistakes. But you know what? You cannot continue to make mistakes over and over again.
So we have a bail reform, but probably we need a law reform.
Yes.
Law. Now, to make it clear, I have spoken to you in the past, I have to speak with people that are very close to you in the past. And there is a misconception that I always try to correct based on what I know.
Yes.
You are not against guns.
No.
My understanding is you are against guns on the hands of criminals.
Yes.
Illegal guns.
Yes.
Illegal possession of handguns.
Yes.
That's what you are against.
Yes. If you have a gun and you have it permitted, you're responsible with it, it's for your safety of your family, if you're going hunting with it, whatever the case may be, if you're responsible with it, that's not my issue. My issue is the guns in the hands of that are illegal and the people that should not have them conducting these crimes. You know, for instance, I'm going to use an example. When was the last time you seen an NRA member on one side of Yonkers just doing a shooting? You don't. So we need to split this group into two. You know what? Yes, there are some people that illegally have guns that should not have them, for whatever the case may be, mental illness. But we have illegal guns on the streets, and 100 people a day lose their life in this country due to illegal guns. That's a mass shooting every day in this country, and it has to be addressed.
So mass shooting, a lot of people think that mass shooting is just when you walk into a school or a place where there is lots of people and you shoot and you kill a whole bunch of people at the same time. Mass shooting happens every day in America.
Every day, but it's not addressed every day. You know, you don't see it on the news every day. It's on a hot topic. So we need to start classifying illegal guns as a separate entity and start, you know, addressing it, because there are, again, 100 people a day that lose their lives in this country because of illegal guns. And then you have 100 people's families and friends that are affected, so it's a long line.
And the pain never ends.
No.
Now let's move to the homeless. I ask every candidate about the homeless issue. It seems like in Yonkers there is a little bit of let's play pass the buck.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the homeless, it's a county issue. County, well, they're in Yonkers. Bottom line is, they're here. They're everywhere.
Yes.
But we are talking about Yonkers. So when the homeless are in Yonkers, whose problem is that?
Falls on the county.
But in Yonkers, if it's in
Yes.
Yonkers, it's the city, I would think.
Well, you know
It's a
what?
combination.
You could do it as a joint. You could do it as a joint that Yonkers or whatever municipality could work with the state and the county to all bring this together.
But my point is not even pointing fingers at anyone, is that homeless is a problem.
Huge problem.
Regardless of who is responsible, we need to do something about it.
Yes.
What would you do about it?
I would like to construct a program where we bring in homeless people and we house them. But they have to abide by the rules of it to get back on their feet, to go get a job. They have to get progress reports. We give them a small room. They're not having guests over for parties and stuff like that. This is a room where, okay, at say 8 o'clock is curfew, 9 o'clock. You go there, you don't get out until 8 o'clock in the morning. But you have TV, you have food, but we're going to help you get back on your feet. We should have counselors in place in this program to help these people, guide them the correct way, check in on them, and go through the steps to get them an apartment, to get them food, to get them going again. Listen, we all deserve a second chance.
But I don't know, can we legally, I know that all shelters have a schedule, time, log out, log in, go out. But can we tell people, listen, until 8 o'clock?
They could, because there are a number of shelters that close down at a certain time.
8
At a certain
o'clock?
time, you cannot come back in. You can't come in or you can't leave. If you leave, you're not going to be welcome back in.
Then you don't have a
You don't have a
space
room.
when you come
Yeah.
back.
This is, you know what, like we have to have a constructive program. So you know what, you're in by a certain time. So they feel responsible. You get them a job, food, housing. Okay, I have something good. Let me stick to it, abide by the rules, and then you know what, it'll help me in the long run. Because on average, there is, Westchester County takes people, homeless people, and puts them in a hotel. On average, it costs $100 per night per person. So on average, that's $3,000 to $4,000 a month we're spending to house people in hotels, when we could be helping them and get them back on their feet.
What about housing? Housing in Yonkers. Well, this is long before your time, but like 30 years ago, 35 years ago, Yonkers used to be a totally different city. Okay, Yonkers is much better now.
Yes.
Okay, we see buildings that we never saw before, with beautiful facilities, but there is a problem. Okay, most people, or lots of people, cannot afford those rents.
Yeah.
And the people of Yonkers now have to leave Yonkers because they cannot afford to live in Yonkers. How would you remediate that? What would you do in that?
We have to make Westchester more affordable. That's the thing. We can't always bang the taxpayers in the pockets. We have to make it more affordable. So we have to look at the budget that we have, and we cannot always use the scapegoat as, well, we'll just raise taxes. We can no longer do that. We're already paying enough in taxes, and we have to stick to it. We have to find different ways. And that's why, we need to go over all finances and money. I'm a firm believer is, listen, you live within your means. So that's what we have to have that mindset as, you know what, and there's something that's really not essential, we have to, look at it and reevaluate it and cut it, or, give less to that, so we can actually help people stay here. We have to keep the money here so they don't move out. So we have to make it more affordable.
But James, every want has a price tag.
Yeah.
Okay? I hear you. I don't like to pay taxes either,
Yeah.
but I have to.
Yeah.
But I don't like to.
I don't think anybody does.
Right? 30 years ago, the minimum salary used to be, I think, $325, $425, something like that. Now they're working on it to make it 15 something. With every increase, with every want. I want
Yeah.
this service, I want that, I want more police on the street, I want more, foot patrol, I want more this, I want more that. Everything comes with a tax,
It does.
with a price tag. So is it realistic to say that we don't going to raise taxes?
It is.
Is realistic?
It is realistic because it was done for 8 years in Westchester County. About 9 years. Taxes weren't raised, property taxes. And that's something that we need to, look for. We need to crunch things. There's some departments that we can actually combine together with some certain other departments to help, crunch the numbers. There's always a way to do something. Just like I'm a firm believer that, all the development coming in, all you hear is about tax breaks. Okay, you need a tax break. What we should do for that tax break in order for you to get it is have the developers donate a small percentage, like say 3% or 5% of the building, to the municipality that will go to the school district, to the infrastructure, to a program for seniors or homeless. Give an initiative to get that tax break. Because if not, you'll end up spending more on a tax break than that small percentage that could help go a long way, like repaving a road that's being used for trucks constantly, or helping the school district. We have 44 schools here in Yonkers. We have to find a way to balance this out.
Isn't that the same thing as the 10 or 15% that they give us for the low-income housing inside? And now they want to increase it to 20%. Isn't that the same as the 3%
It
that they
is,
give?
but we got to expand the list. There's no reason they can't continue to go to that, but also look at donating to the schools or to the infrastructure to better the parks. There's a number of parks that have to be addressed, so it could help go a long way, but we need to expand that list.
COVID-19. COVID-19, it's a silent killer.
It is.
And it kills everybody, regardless if you are a white, black, Republican, Democrat, liberal, or whatever. It's a serious problem.
It is.
It doesn't discriminate against anyone. All that COVID-19 wants to do is infect and kill.
Yes.
What would you do different in Westchester County to deal with the COVID? In regards to tests, vaccination, what would you do
Well,
to
first,
expedite?
well, we first got to look at the priorities. We have a number of essential workers, frontline workers, we have seniors, we have people that have health issues. So we need to come up with a list that, those people are on top. Then if your doctor feels that you need it as is, then you should get it. But we should have a list of priorities that go through it. And we have a number of things that are in place, like social distancing. We always have to remember that social distancing, limited contact, masks, those all help.
Oh, by the way, guys, before we go further and people start saying, well, you talk about masks, where are your masks? As you guys know, I had it back in December. I'm okay now, and I am, how they say it?
I hope you're okay.
I'm okay, yes. My good friend here, he had not, you didn't have the COVID
No,
yet, right?
thankfully, no.
So, but we okay. We have a distance that I feel that we okay. James also feels that he's okay. So that's why we don't have a mask. But also because we want you to hear everything that we are saying.
Yes. I've been tested on the regular, so.
Okay. A mask will make the sounds muffled and very difficult to speak with the audience.
Yes.
But James, I think that that's what they're doing right now. First priority, first responders, then the age.
Yes.
But the vaccines are still not going around as fast as they should.
Yeah, but it's a big thing. This is a global pandemic. This is on a federal level,
Yes.
and the federal government only has so many resources as well. So we have to. It's hard to say have patience because this is something that has shut down our lives for almost a year
Basically.
now.
No, not almost a year, more
Over
than a year.
now.
Over
yeah,
a year now.
And it's hard to say have patience. It is, but you know what? Like the vaccines are here. There's more and more coming out. I know Johnson & Johnson has a one-shot vaccine now that's coming out, and hopefully in time that there's more and more provided to us, and we still have to fight for our adequate share, and especially the budget-wise.
So James, this is the time that you are speaking with thousands of people out there. They are watching you. Okay, you might be a motivation to many young kids out there that look at you and say, that might be me in a few years. Okay, you might be a motivation, and I would like to help that motivation in the sense of getting young people involved in the politics,
Yeah.
making them come out. What is it that you would suggest? If I'm a young guy, 19, 20, 25, and I want to get involved in politics, and I'm talking to you, how do I get involved in politics, James? What would be your suggestion?
Well, first I would say, like I started off, it's unfortunate how I started off, but to be involved in the community, you start seeing firsthand the issues and the problems that people, have and, come up with. So start being involved in the community, and then also start reaching out to your elected officials. Start seeing how you could help them or what you could do to get involved and better your community. Start volunteering. That's where you see it's a grassroots thing. Then you can start, going to certain council meeting, whatever your municipality meetings are, to start to see the day-to-day, how they deal with things. We have our council meetings here every Tuesday night here in Yonkers. The legislators have their own meetings, so start attending those meetings so you become accustomed to the different issues that are coming up and what they come across. And just little by little, you gotta study it after a while. You gotta study, you gotta be involved, and it starts to come to you.
Now, the other day I was talking to a person, and I was telling this person, I hate politics. I said to her, you might like politics a little bit, and she said to me, no, I hate politics as much as you do. I like government.
Yeah.
Because being a politician and being government are two different things.
I agree.
Do you want to be a politician or do you want to work in government?
I want to work in government. I want to be a public, servant. That's my goal here. Like, my goal is to be a public servant for the people. Like I'm going to continue to do, like I have been for the last 5 years now.
Now, you're running on which line?
Republican and conservative.
Republican and conservative. So guys, lots of us say that Republicans in Yonkers are about to become extinct. Well, they're not. Now, you have a young folk here that is running on the Republican line. If you are happy with what James Nolan has to offer, vote for him.
Yes.
You have a primary coming, right?
No.
You don't have a primary?
Thankfully.
No, good. So you're going to be on the home stretch to us. So if James Nolan offers you what you want, if he's the person that you think that can represent you well and your interests, vote for him. As always, Yonkers Voice does not endorse or oppose any candidate. Our only interest is to represent you, the people. We ask questions. We hope that you ask questions so you can make the determination if this candidate or the other candidate is the person that is going to represent you well and represents you best. So, James, we're going to conclude.
Okay.
But before we conclude, I want you to look straight in the camera, talk to the people who are watching us, and tell them why they should vote for you, why you think you are the best person for this position.
Okay. Well, I always want people to remember that I'm always a community first guy. It's not about politics, it's about doing what's best for the people. So taking both sides of the parties, bring them together to do what's best for every single person in this district, community, city, county, etc. I have been in the community. Yes, I am inexperienced in politics, but I'm not inexperienced in a number of issues. I have worked on construction sites and development. I have worked in the school district. I have been a union member. I have been a part of, unfortunate gun violence, but I've also been a part of legislation that helps protect people. I want to help small businesses. I want to help every single person in this district. I will not only knock before Election Day, but I will continue knocking and working diligently every single day in the community if I am elected. This is about the people, and it's always going to be about the people. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, Conservative, whatever the case may be, if a non-voter, I want to answer your calls. I want to answer your calls. I want to show up to your house. I want to see what bothers you. I want to help every single way possible. This is about providing a voice to the people, just like you do that. Provide a voice to the people. And you know what? I will continue to do that every single day. We have to start helping each other, and I have no problem being there every single day. I will continue to work every step of the way, every day, even if I am elected, and I hope that I am given the opportunity, because I want to provide a voice. And I just ask you, November, please remember to vote for James Nolan for County Legislator, District 15.
Now, James, just my final question to you is this. if you are elected, even though you are telling me that you are on a conservative and Republican line,
Yes.
but if you are elected, you will not be a Republican and conservative, correct? You're going to represent what is best for the people of Westchester.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that
Yes.
everybody understands that.
Yes, every step of the way. Because
Yeah.
you know what, there's just not Republicans and Democrats, there's everybody that lives in this district. We're people. We have to do what's best for people, and that's my number one goal, to do what's best for the people. I will be the community elected official that's going to do what's best for the people. There are times I'm going to have to, stay on my ground on certain things, and there are times when I have to work with you. And I am all for that, working together to do what's best for the people.
That's important to say, James, because regardless if we are Republicans or Democrats or liberals,
Yes.
we are all Americans.
We're all Americans.
And what's the most important it makes is to make America a better place.
Yes.
Okay, once the elections are over, unite and represent the people of whatever place you
Yes.
are. So guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. We have more interviews coming up this coming week. I want you to be here, watching, learning, participating, asking questions. Yonkers Voice is not my voice, it's your voice. We give you a platform where you can ask, engage, or step up here and talk to the community. This is for you, it's not for me. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Until next time.
All right.
Guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah?
All right.
Wasn't that bad,